allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of council, please. Councilmember Garberton? Here. Councilmember Jones? Councilmember Cave? Councilmember Olivera? Here. Councilmember Putnam?
Here.
Councilmember Steiger?
Here.
Councilmember Walker?
Here. Motion to excuse Cave and Jones.
Second. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, are there any additions or changes to tonight's agenda? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of the agenda as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is audience comment. I have 3 forms up here. I don't know if there's any more. And then one after we've finished, there's one to be read into the record. And the first one would be Jerry F. And then I want to remind everybody that it's 3 minutes and we will be timing tonight.
Where's the timer?
It has it right here. You can hold it up for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not that good of a speaker. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you tonight about the option of building us a new city hall rather than renovating this old building. My architect gave me some bullet points as to reasons why. And, you know, basically it's energy efficient. The boiler system is like the worst you can have. And I think everybody already knows all that stuff about it. And I think if we're going to spend money, whether it be taxpayer money or the city's money, anybody's money, be better spent on a new building. I've heard that people like the character of the old building, but that can be designed into a new building. You can even use parts of your old building on your new building. So we can keep our character and small town character. And then the last thing he wrote was so good, I'm going to read it verbatim. A new building means new opportunities. The city hall is at once the heart and brains of a city. Clearly, straight space-for-space replacement of this old structure would yield more efficient, healthy, and serviceable municipal structure. But far beyond that, the concept of a new building offers an incredible opportunity for the community to come together and to develop an enhanced new municipal program and physical presence with an improved forward-looking identity. There's great potential here to create within a community a clear source of pride and focus, while at the same time establishing a positive example for both current stakeholders and potential residents and businesses considering Pacific as a location to settle to. So I plagiarized him, but it sounded pretty good. But I just wanted to say that, and that's it. How'd I do on time? All right.
Thank you again.
Oh, Gerald D. at 411
Thank you.
West LA Highway South.
Okay, next up we have Kate Wolke.
So she asked me to give that to you, because she's too sick. Kate Hull, I'm just here to clarify a point that was made at the last council meeting. It was said that I withdraw my desire to be on the park board, and I did not. That's all I'd like to say about that. So I'd also like to suggest that we change the park board to mirror the planning commission to allow land owning, utility bill receiving. What I have now been told, I am no longer a citizen of Pacific, which was a shock to me, because I always thought I was a citizen here. As most of you know, I do not sleep at my house 5 nights a week, because I prefer to sleep closer to where I work. It's a 2 to 4 hour time savings for me to sleep in Darien. So, but if anyone would ask me, I always tell them I live in Pacific. So I'd like to see that change so that I might reapply to be on the Park Board, because it really is something that gives me great joy, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Don Thompson.
Don Thompson, 416 Nickenhaven Southeast Pacific. First off, I'd like, my family and I would like to express our deepest and most sincere condolences to the West family. They're tied in their time of grievance. It's hard to lose somebody, especially so young and courageous. Second, I want to apologize to all the residents of the City of Pacific for anybody that I upset in the last few weeks over my comments and concerns of the police department. I'm a very strong supporter of the police department. And my opponents are finding out that they can get on the fighting side of me real quick. Johnny Cochran's is a recognized law enforcement officer, recognized by the state of Washington. The city might have hired him as a civilian, but he's still a certified law enforcement officer. He was commissioned by the city upon hiring. By definition, and from a legal aspect, the word commission means to hire, to oversee, or manage a department, and including pay. So he was automatically commissioned as a legal use of that word. The law enforcement officers have the same liability for any of their actions as any civilian or citizen does in the state. His experience, his knowledge, and being a certified officer under the state was a big contributing factor to the state certification of the police department. Having a lieutenant do a sergeant's job is wrong. We have no one doing public relations, training, such as those young people in the back, which is our future police officers. Doing educational at school on crime and whatnot. Our property crime rate has gone up, and regardless what people say and think, the drug aspect is going to involve more of our police department's time because you don't see the liquor board going out and writing DUIs on the highway. Their training and whatnot is better utilized in the police department. Asking John Cochran or Lieutenant Massey to do patrol work is just like asking Mary Geyer with her pipe fitting experience to go out and change water meters. Makes that much sense. Between the two of them, they have over 60 years experience.
It's 3 minutes.
3 minutes left?
Your time is up.
Okay, I want to thank you, and I hope you reconsider your decisions.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that filled out the form that would like to speak tonight under public comment?
I just have to check one thing, Gary. Are you planning on getting a staff report? Were you? Are you going to discuss about Kate, or are you going to talk about the parks?
Yes. So,
The only reason
do you have any more public comment?
No.
Okay, we have 2 items that need to be read into the record as well, so.
Well, if Gary's not going to discuss the issue about Kate when it comes up on the Parks Board time, then I can, huh?
Don't plan to.
You don't plan to? Okay, then I'll go ahead and.
Okay. Come on up, Don.
Good evening, everybody. Don Blackwell, 107 East State Avenue, Pacific. Parks Board member, but up here as a citizen today, just to talk a little bit about the issue with Kate Hull and the fact that the Parks Board was never informed that Kate had been, her name had been removed. We showed up at our meeting last week and was informed that we no longer had a chair. And never given a reason either. I mean, it was kind of vague in that we were told that she had resigned her position or had withdrawn her name, which she was at the meeting and said that that had never happened. And I think in the minutes it was read in that that she had done that. But I think what it's come down to is the difference between owning a residence in the city of Pacific and residing in the city of Pacific. And I think the code says reside. And much like Kate had said about the Planning Commission, which, thanks for that, I wasn't aware of it, that the Planning Commission, it's stated differently that a member can, basically if you are a property owner in the city, that you can be on the Planning Commission. So I would also like to see that changed, the Parks Board part of it, changed to where it doesn't read reside in the city of Pacific, but a homeowner that either is a part-time homeowner or even rents, but a property owner can be a member of the Parks Board. And the reason, one of the reasons is that we have a hard enough time finding people that want to be part and volunteer their time. And when you see someone like Kate, who gives a lot of her time, I mean, single-handedly pushed through many of the projects that we've done in the last couple of years, from the Make a Difference Day, Earth Day. She works hand in hand with the partnership. She's a real asset, and she owns a home, pays taxes in the city of Pacific, and is one of the people you see around helping and doing a lot of things around here. So it's a shame to see her kind of have this taken away because of the word reside. So I would just like to, you know, encourage you folks, and a council member maybe, to move it forward to change the definition. I know it's probably a code change, but you certainly have it in your you know, your abilities to do that and change the wording of that to more resemble the terminology that's under the Planning Commission's requirements for being a member. Okay?
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak tonight? Okay, so if I could have Amy read in the two items into the record. The first item is received from Dwayne Graff, 122 3rd Avenue Northwest in Pacific. Marijuana in Pacific public comment to City of Pacific Council from Dwayne Graff regarding pot in Pacific. All marijuana. 1. The current zoning hold on all marijuana, cannabis, pot businesses, medical and recreational in the City of Pacific should not be extended. Medical. 2. Medical pot sales should be allowed. Medical pot collective growing should be allowed. Medical pot product manufacturing should be allowed. Recreational. Item number 5. Recreational pot sales should be allowed. Number 6. Recreational pot growing should be allowed. Number 7. Recreational pot product manufacturing should be allowed. New zoning ordinance. Number 8. The draft marijuana commerce zoning ordinance, which has gone through a CEPA review process, should be approved. Additional comments. The draft zoning ordinance subsections detailing the criteria for approval, conditions of approval, and visibility of activities, control of emissions, appear to address the mitigation of any odors generated through the growth, manufacturing, and processing of marijuana. Many land uses create odors, so let's make sure that for this use, the mitigation systems are adequate. The location criteria in the draft zoning ordinance.
quote, "No recreational marijuana producer, processor, or retail business may locate or operate within 1,000 feet of any of the following," end quote, seems arbitrary. In the city of Pacific, are there other permitted land uses that must obtain a conditional use permit, churches, retail sales, etc., also required to maintain a similar 1,000-foot setback? If the answer is no, then why is this particular land use being singled out to require a special setback, since it is already being limited to being located in either the light industrial zone or the commercial zone? If the answer is yes, then why is this setback required for this land use? What does the setback accomplish, and should it be applied equally to marijuana producers, processors, or retail businesses, which are quite different? The majority of the citizens in the city voted in the past to legalize access to and use of recreational and medical marijuana. Please enact a reasonable ordinance now that allows marijuana producers, processors, and retail businesses to locate in the city. Signed by Mr. Groff, January 12th, 2015. Okay, this item was received from Dean Fancher regarding pot in Pacific. For items 1 through 8, I have selected the option I support and crossed out the option I do not support. All marijuana. Number 1, the current zoning hold on all marijuana, cannabis, pot businesses, medical and recreational in the city of Pacific should be extended temporarily. Medical, item 2, medical pot sales should be allowed with restrictions, I'm assuming that means to be determined. Medical, item 3, medical pot collective growing should be banned until, I'm not sure what that says, Jean.
Pending state legislation.
Okay. Medical, number 4, medical pot product manufacturing should be banned.
Same thing.
Okay.
Pending state legislation.
Pending legislation. Recreational pot sales should be allowed with taxation for city oversight. Number 6, recreational pot growing should be allowed. Number 7, recreational pot product manufacturing should be banned. New zoning ordinance. Number 8, the draft marijuana commerce zoning ordinance, which has gone through a SEPA review process. Nothing was selected. And that's all.
Is there any further public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to reports. And our first report this evening is the mayor's report. First of all, my thoughts and prayers go out to Officer West and his family with the passing of his wife. Councilmember Cave had sent an email earlier today and had requested that we observe a moment of silence in remembrance of his wife and honoring that passing. So if we could do that now, since he is now here in the meeting. So if everybody would join me with a moment of silence in respect for Officer West's wife. Thank you. I just want to let folks know that I attended the Sound City Legislative Breakfast on Friday that is hosted by the South Sound Chamber of Commerce. Basically, the legislative agenda for Sound Cities Association, Association of Washington Cities, and as well as the Commerce is pretty much a transportation package, wanting to get the Public Works Assistance Fund reinstated. So one of the main things that they talked about regarding the transportation package was the completion of 167 and 509, how detrimental that is to our area. There are other infrastructure projects that they're looking at as well to move forward here in our area. So I will also be attending the Association of Washington Cities legislative conference that they will be having in Olympia, February 18th and 19th, and we'll be looking more at those legislative priorities. I'm hoping everybody got a chance to take a look at the display case that we have in the hallway. I requested from staff, and hopefully if anybody has anything to add to it, like hope to get the explorers in there and some of the accreditation pictures. But we have the display case talking about a year in review, just kind of talking about some of the stuff that we did this last year in the city and kind of celebrate all the fun stuff that's been going on. I would like to comment regarding the park board appointment and what had happened when the appointment had come up. It came up through the workshop and I was ready to move forward. A council member had come up to me afterward and mentioned that you might want to take a look at the residents because our code states, and it's in chapter 2.38, Board of Commissioners, and it states that citizens who reside in the city. And so when that was brought to my attention, I had asked our city clerk to contact Ms. Hull because she is definitely a huge asset on the park board, and asked her to clarify where she resides. And the email I got back stated that she resides in Burien, that she has a rental house here in Pacific, but resides in Burien. My job is to follow our code and our policy, and that is the reason why the name didn't come forward at the following council meeting for the appointment. I thought by the email that I had received from our city clerk with the conversation that took place that it wasn't an issue, it was understood, and I never knew that there was a miscommunication. Had I known, I would have addressed the park board personally myself, but I did not know until afterwards that there was an issue. I apologize for that lack of communication, but I strive very hard to be upfront, honest, follow all the rules, be very transparent. And with this rule that was brought to my attention and the fact that she resides in Burien, I had to keep my decision the way that it was to move forward. Council is welcome to take a look at that, the ordinance that they would like, and but right now that's how way that the ordinance stands. And so I just wanted to explain my position on that. I'm sure we're going to have more conversations in the future about it, and I'm more than willing to listen and be open to them. And a couple of comments I've made to park board members that she's more than willing to participate and be a part of, because she would surely be missed if she wasn't. But I have to follow the rules.
Can I just make one clarification? I live in my house for part of the time. I do not rent my house. It's up to me.
We can have this discussion offline. This is not a time for debate. This is the information that was presented to me, and this is how we move forward with it. So I just wanted to clarify the basis of my decision. Okay, moving on. City Administrator.